If you won 9 digits in the lottery, what do you think would disappear from your life? Because whatever vanished for Jack Whittaker never came back. Before the money, Jack Whittaker lived a life that worked. He owned a construction company in West Virginia. He employed people. He dealt with schedules, payroll, responsibility. He wasn't rich by national standards, but he was stable. More importantly, his life was contained. People in his community knew him, but they didn't track him. He was recognizable, not searchable. Accessible, but not exposed. He donated regularly to his church, quietly. No foundations, no announcements, no expectations attached. That kind of routine matters more than people realize. Most stability doesn't come from discipline or intelligence. It comes from scale. From a life that's small enough to manage and small enough to correct when something goes wrong. Jack had edges, limits on who could reach him, where he went, how visible he was. He didn't need security because nothing in his life required protection yet. Nothing was broken. Nothing felt fragile. And that's why what came next worked as well as it did. In December 2002, Jack Whittaker won $314.9 million in Powerball, the largest single-ticket jackpot in American history at the time. He chose the lump sum. After taxes, roughly $113 million. And he went public. Press conferences, photographs, the oversized check. It looked like celebration because that's what winning is supposed to look like. Public exposure doesn't feel dangerous at first, especially to someone who's never needed protection. It feels ceremonial, required, harmless. Almost overnight, Jack stopped being a private individual and became a known location. His name traveled, his face traveled, and soon expectations followed. Requests arrived from everywhere, some sincere, some desperate, some carefully calculated. Churches, charities, strangers with emergencies that suddenly knew exactly where to go. Jack said yes, often. He donated millions. He tipped heavily. He stayed open. Giving felt like control. For a short time, it worked. It reduced friction. It delayed confrontation. It kept things calm. But generosity, once it becomes predictable, stops being kindness. It becomes access. The first robberies didn't feel catastrophic. In 2003, Jack Whittaker was robbed multiple times. Once after being followed, another time with large amounts of cash taken from his car. Tens of thousands of dollars disappeared. Police reports were filed. Life continued. Because the losses didn't hurt enough to force change. When money absorbs damage cleanly, it teaches you the damage is manageable. And when something feels manageable, it stops feeling dangerous. Jack kept carrying cash. He kept moving through public places. He kept trusting proximity. Casinos, bars, hotels, places where money doesn't stand out and attention blends into the background. People began learning his patterns, where he stayed, how late he stayed, what generosity looked like when it was tired instead of celebratory. This wasn't recklessness, it was adaptation. The most dangerous phase of exposure is when nothing terrible happens repeatedly. That's when risk becomes routine, and routine makes it invisible. By this point, access no longer needed permission. It only needed opportunity. Before we continue, Think about this for a moment. What would people gain access to if your life suddenly became public? Then the losses stopped being abstract. In 2004, Jack Whittaker's granddaughter was found dead from a drug overdose. Months later, her boyfriend was also found dead. This wasn't money disappearing anymore. This was damage money couldn't absorb, smooth over, or delay. Grief didn't respond to donations. Visibility didn't pause for funerals. And attention didn't fade out of respect. Lawsuits followed. Headlines hardened. The story stopped resetting. Security came, but late. Privacy became symbolic rather than real. By then, the system around Jack had already learned how to reach him. And systems don't forget. He responded the only way he knew how. More generosity. More movement. More openness. The same tools applied harder. But once exposure is normalized, escalation doesn't restore control. It accelerates collapse. Jack Whittaker didn't vanish. He withdrew. Public appearances became rare. Interviews stopped. His movements grew inconsistent, not strategic, just exhausted. He was still wealthy, still alive, still known by name, but no longer reachable by the life he used to live. Some people don't lose everything at once. They lose the ability to live inside what remains.
The money stayed. The consequences stayed. Nothing corrected itself. Jack Whittaker is often used as proof that the lottery ruins lives. That framing misses the point. The money didn't destroy him. It removed containment before protection existed. It turned generosity into access. It made a private life unmanageably large. And once a life grows past the point where it can be contained, there's no clean way back. If you won 9 digits tomorrow, what do you think would disappear from your life, and would you notice it before it was gone?